Namaste friends, I hope you are doing fine. Is a significant amount of your time being dedicated to crafting an SQL query for extracting data from your database? Are you curious about the reason behind the slow loading of your report? I am Subhojit, and in this video we will delve into a capability within Power Query known as View Native Query. Throughout this tutorial, I'll provide clear and concise explanations along with relevant examples to ensure that you fully understand the concepts. I encourage you to follow along and try it yourself as hands-on experience is the key to mastery. Let's hop over to Excel. I'll click on Data, Get Data from Other Sources, from ODBC. If you do not have an ODBC connection set up on your computer, I have a video available on my channel which explains on how to set it up. I'll leave the link in the description for your reference. Over here, I'll select trial connection, click on OK. From trial underscore schema, I would like to download the data from lar data ungrouped. I'll click on transform data. So the steps that I can see now are source and navigation in the query settings applied steps section. I'll right click on the last step, that is navigation. I will find an option called view native query. I'll click on it. And this will give me the entire SQL query that it is using to fetch the data from the MySQL database. I can select all by pressing Ctrl A on my keyboard. Copy this, go over to MySQL, paste that particular query over here, end it with a semicolon, and click on the execute query button. And this will give me the result 5815 rows returned. This is the data that it fetched from this particular query. I'll go back to the Excel window. I'll click OK over here. Let me remove some of the columns out of this particular data set. So let's say I need the activity year, the LEI. I can search for a column name, click on OK. So I'm left off with only these many columns in my data set. I'll right click on this last step, click on view native query, and now you will see that the query has changed. It has excluded all the other columns. I can copy this, remove the query which I have already typed over here, or I can just add the extra query below it and again end it with a semicolon. I'll click on execute. So I'm only getting these many columns out of the entire columns that we saw. I can close this Power Query editor window. I'll click on discard. Now since I have the query handy, I'll again go back to get data, other sources from ODBC. Over here, I'll select trial connection, and now I'll click advanced options and put the SQL query over here. End it with a semicolon and click on OK. So now it is pulling only the columns which I require. I'll click on transform data. Now we can see that I have a single step in Power Query as against the older one which had 3 steps, one connecting to the data source, 2 pulling the data from the table, and 3 removing the columns. But now the native query has reduced the load on the dataset. I'll click on close and load. And you can see that we have pulled 5815 rows using both as an output. The native query loads much faster than the other one because the number of columns are reduced. In this video, we use the graphical user interface of Power Query Editor to select the desired columns from a large dataset and extracted the underlying SQL query using View Native Query option. This is just one of the many benefits of View Native Query option. The other benefits are performance optimization. By accessing and understanding the native query, users can fine-tune the data retrieval process. This optimization helps reduce unnecessary data loading, minimize data transfer between the data source and Power BI, and improve report loading times and overall performance. Customization and control. The View Native Query feature empowers users to apply custom SQL queries and tailor data retrieval to their specific requirements. This level of control allows for advanced data transformations and optimizations that may not be achievable through the standard Power BI interface. Handling complex data sources. In scenarios where the data source requires intricate or non-standard data retrieval processes, the View Native Query feature enables users to interact directly with the data source's query language, ensuring data is imported accurately and efficiently. Learning and education. For users who are learning query languages or exploring how Power BI interacts with various data sources, examining the native query can be an educational experience. It offers insights into how Power BI communicates with data sources, fostering a deeper understanding of the data retrieval process. I hope this video added another tool to your data analysis toolkit. We will meet again in another exciting video very soon. Stay tuned, bye bye, and take care.